Right lads, look at welcome back to whatever project this is, whatever we're doing here. I'm not fully sure again what we're doing, but we're gonna whip out this turbo today, and look at that should solve our boosting issues. We'll take off the intercooler, clean out all the pipes, clean out the intercooler. We'll go through our vacuums and make sure we're getting proper vacuum and everything. Now I heard out on the road yesterday bringing it back from Keelan's, where we done all the brakes and the new song. So it wasn't too bad on the road. She was 100%. But there was just a little bit of, I don't feel like there's full boost there, and I can actually see the back of the turbo there. Where the core sits in, you can see where there's a bit of oil leaking out of it. So we'll whip it off, we'll get it rebuilt, and we'll show you through the turbo and kind of how the actuator and all the vanes work, how they connect together. And I suppose if you're interested in that, sure, follow along. And yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So yeah, we'll get a start on it. Right. There the exhaust bolt's done. That last one fed. There's always one. I think we'll go underneath now. We'll go underneath and we'll get off boost pipes and intake pipe. Anyone working on Volkswagens, for that intake pipe, that is the greatest tool ever invented. Right. One intake pipe out. Bit oily. It is what it is. Right. Now, start pulling away the turbo now. Start pulling away these turbo bolts and get her out.
So it's yeah, it's a funny one.
Yeah.
Because I've spotted there since or not spotted, I had a look at the graph, and it's been getting higher and higher since March or April. Apparently looking at the graph, the time to buy a car out of Japan was the start of the year.
Just gone by,
The start of the year. Apparently that was the time to buy one. Well, just by looking at the
Lad, you're going to become an expert in Japanese economics. Your search issue will be what is going on in Japan. Fuck it, lad.
But
Another $2,500 in the space of 6 weeks, is it? That's the price of your wheels.
I know, but it's will it in 6 weeks' time? Will it go up?
Yeah, that's the kind. But you still haven't even found the one you want.
Black over grey one is the one I want.
But was that one a sunroof, the one that they showed you last night?
It wasn't a sunroof, but I think you're kind of asking a lot in that to find one of them on a sunroof.
Do you think?
Okay. It's just quite annoying why I didn't actually go for that other one.
Yeah.
I'm kind of asking.
See, we're holding out for Emmanuel though.
Huh?
You were kind of holding out for Emmanuel.
Yeah, but I was kind of holding out for one, but the last Emmanuel that I went, sold for fucking 21,000 US at auction, which is about 18,000 euros.
Jeez, that's fucking grand. But that wasn't the colour you wanted.
No, but it wasn't at the time. It's so seemingly it seems to be to like import a car, whatever price it is at auction, you have to add on about 7 or 8 grand for you to get the car here.
Yeah.
Same.
And it's an old woman driving, is it?
It is. Well, should we just say there? Move forward.
Yeah.
It's like,
I say she's being played.
I'd say so.
Played. Now she's going to think it's worth something mental.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I think she's a collector's item now. Right, let's turn my comb. My body go boost. Oh, it's all good. Right, lads, so turbo was out. Now, I'm going to show you something as to why we had no boost and what caused it. If you see in there now, you see all the fins have completely come off. It's actually smooth in there. So I'll just get another one and show you. Another for you. Like here's a blown one that's in for rebuild. See all the fins? And you see here now, completely smooth. Now when people come out, I always say to people, please clean out your intercooler, because if your turbo is blown before, there might be a possibility that there'll be bits of the turbo inside it. And I know people think I'm messing and I plague people to do it, because I never thought I'd see it on my own car. But that's what fell out. I don't know if you can see that. That's what fell out of the old turbo, of that turbo there. And that's the nut. That's the stop nut from the last turbo that was put into the car. You can even see the way it's all rounded, where it's all rounded down. So that's why I say to people how important it is to make sure your intercooler is clean, especially when fitting a new turbo. So that was just literally in there. She sucked it in and it was in there rattling about, and that's why it smoothed down the fins. So yeah, we'll get it taken apart, get it rebuilt. I just wanted to show you that. Right, let's strip it down. Let's see what this looks like inside. I have a funny feeling this is all going to be not usable again. I'd say it's all ground down in there, but we'll have a look. We'll strip her down. No, look, there's a couple of marks on it, but it's not actually too bad. I thought it was going to be destroyed. Yeah, not too bad. Look at the state of this stuff. Here, let me move you. I'll move you closer. Yeah, look, she got a bad doing, didn't she? All the fins completely wiped out of it. Okay, man. Yeah, that might be why we had no boost. No, in fairness, she was still able to make a small bit of boost, but you could tell something was definitely up. Some mess. Alright, that's the actuator out.
Right, now the fun bit. Now the fun bit. I have got this covered in WD-40, so let's move you back out of the way a touch. Cool down a bit. Yeah, some of them nuts can just be a bastard. Heat WD-40 and just try and work them out. Now the amount of them that I've snapped in there is, yeah, not worth talking about, but they're all out. Now we got 3 more to take out this core now. We'll hit this out, might give, let that WD-40 kind of settle in a bit, and we'll heat this all up. And we'll pop out the core, we'll give you a looking at the vanes, and there's 3 little small bolts in there. And if we can get them out without snapping one, we're not doing too bad. Oh, 1 core out. Wasn't the worst one to get out. So yeah, now inside here now is your V&T, and if you just see here, we got 1, 2, 3 more bolts. So yeah, we'll see how easy these are to get out. Always good when on them break. Alright, let's get you out of here. Little spacers. Yeah, so that's the inside of your turbo. We'll get her all blasted and cleaned up. But yeah, these are kind of, they're the 3 main parts of your turbo. This is your V&T. So this, your actuator here, hooks onto this, which controls, actually, yeah, I might get a bit better light and everything's still fucking hot. I'll wait till everything cools down and I'll explain to you. Right boys, we are gonna get this turbo rebuilt. There's all our bits for it, all new mellet parts. Turbo's been blasted. So yeah, we'll bring you through the building stage, all our new bolts and fasteners and everything. So yeah, we'll bring you to this stage of it and sure, we'll get her built. Alright, yeah, so just kind of, before we kind of start here, we just give these little threads a quick little run. So sometimes I just don't like bolts going into them after them coming apart, so there we go. They're all cleaned up. Just give them a quick run of the, I can't remember the name of it. The die or the tap, whichever one of these things is a tap. Give the threads a quick cleaning out. It just makes everything just that little bit smoother putting it back together. And see. This your VNT, this is the way she comes. That's your whole VNT back, that's your veins, as people call them. So if you see that notch there, that's hooked into the bottom end of your core. And as you put your foot on the accelerator, the actuator moves all these veins. And that's how you get your boost. And sometimes these veins block up. You hear people on about sticky veins. That's where the carbon builds up all around these and these veins are no longer able to move. Smoke maps sometimes cause these to clog up, but look, it is what it is. But yeah, we'll get this taken apart. We'll get her all the cable ties off and we'll get her stuck in. Yeah, so that's your VNT. This here, a little notch, lines up with that little hole there. So that's how that goes in. Well, new balls. Right, we got these all torqued down. Right, give these a torque. Now, right, that's the VNT in place, all moving freely. That's her all in there now, ready to go. So, next step now is we'll throw in the core. Right, this is our new mallet core. So if you see in here, you've got this lever here and then the notch. So there's your notch and there's the lever. So what the lever does, this lever here is connected to this, and that's what moves your actuator. So when you put your foot on the throttle, she creates vacuum. The actuator moves this, which then opens and closes your vanes to suit. Pretty simple, that's how it works. So it's just important to get these lined up. Alright. Now when we're confident we have the core all in nice and snug, we'll give them a quick torquing down. And I'll show you that when we go onto the flow bench, but you'll see if everything's not tight, it won't flow. So it's quite important to get everything sitting nice and snug and just. If it's not tight, or even if there's a piece of dirt in the core here or anything, see that when it's real snug. But if it went in really loose, you might have an issue with air escaping here between the core and the unit itself. But the flow bench will tell us all that. The flow bench tells us all. Right, compressor housing. We get the compressor housing on, and then we will move on to the flow side of it. Right, turbo on, complete. The actuator doesn't go on until we get it onto the flow bench, so that's what we'll do. We'll move these into the office where the flow bench is, and we'll get this bad boy flowed up. Right, this is our flow bench. This is what we use to set up the stop screw on the turbo and the actuator. So, I'll just get logged in here. Right, internet's just acting the maggot. Right. Next step then is we take this here, and what this does is it blocks the turbines from spinning. You have to stop them from spinning because there's no oil. She's not cooling, she's not getting anything. So if you just turn this on, these will start spinning and you'll blow your bearings straight away because there's no oil going to them. So we stop her from spinning, and then we'll be ready to flow. Right, that's her locked in. Much light, even though after fucking doing up this garage, still don't have enough light. But I'll just bring you in and show you here. So if you look down there, that there is your stop screw, and that's what we're flowing here. So we need to loosen this back. I'll do it now, one second. We'll loosen this back. And then what we're doing here then is we need the VNT arm to go flush against that just till we get our first flow. I'll do that now. We're all locked up, right.
I didn't block the EGR. So that's what I was saying there. So that's my own fault, not blocking the EGR. But you see, with the big hole here. So that's what I was saying to you back there, that if you don't have these tightened up and they're not right, the machine will tell you that you're way out of flow. We might have to actually put on a blanking plate there. Yeah, so it'll tell you. So you can never really go too wrong with the machine. I suppose that's the whole idea of it, isn't it? Right, round 2. Right, so she's all flowed, which means you have no leaks. That's kind of your first step. Just flow it, make sure you have no leaks. It tells me here on it that we have no leaks here. Right, so now we are ready to set up the stop screw. It's going to be quite tricky to show you, but I'm not really set up for the cameras in here. But now you might be interested in it at all, but it's just something different. Just trying to show everyone kind of what we do, and it's the process of doing everything, do you know? Do you know, when people see how much it costs to rebuild a turbo, you kind of see the work that goes into it. If you're using top quality parts and then you have to pay for your machinery, do you know, you kind of have to justify the price somewhere. It's going to get loud again, so. Right, so that's our first flow done. Setting up the stop screw. So if you actually look in there, you see we've moved the screw. So that's what the machine tells us. So we'll just do it a couple more times just to make sure it's right. We'll just flow it a couple of times, and it's just to make sure, because that stop screw is probably one of the most important parts of this. So it's important to make sure it's right, otherwise we'll get boost problems. This is probably the most fiddliest part of it. What happens is you set the screw to where you want it, but then when you tighten the nut, you end up moving it again. So it just takes a little bit of fiddling to get it right. Perfect. Just a bit of fiddling, it takes a bit of time. It's probably the most fiddliest part of the whole building the turbo. Between that and fucking shitting yourself when you're taking apart some of them rusty bolts. So the final step here now is to set up the actuator and put on the actuator and set it up. So you
shield goes on. Heat shield, of course, always goes in your exhaust side because inside here is a little rubber ball. Right. This bit can be done on the machine. I prefer to do this by hand. It's kind of the way I've always done them, and the machine's a little bit more trickier. Right, we're running out of room again. There's a lot of turbos in here to be flowed again. All after being rebuilt. This is just the way I prefer to do them. A lot of people do them on the machine, but I don't like using the machine. I prefer to do it here in my hand. So just so that I can explain this to you. When I'm pulling on this, we're moving the actuator to hit the stop screw. So I want the actuator to hit the stop screw at 17. See, we're at 15 there and it's hitting. So a little bit more adjusting to do on it. And it's just kind of over and back, kind of fiddling with it until we get her to hit at 17. As I said, this is the most fiddliest part, but these are the most important parts of building your turbo. This is your actuator rod length, if you hear people on about it. That's what this is here. So we're trying to get this to hit. The Volkswagen is 16.9. No. Stop screw, actuator rod is on the stop screw. We're at 17. So that's her done. We can just give her a little tighten up now. What's after happening there? Motherfucker. Fucking mighty vac as well. Jesus Christ. Right, we're just doing our final little test to make sure we're ready to go. Doesn't like being tight, and it's the kind of same with the stop screw. When you tighten it, it actually pinches it up another little touch. So we'll just make it a little bit shorter, and then we're hoping that the tightening of it will bring us back. We shorten it up a touch. Finally, job done. 17 in our yoke, and we're touching the stop screw. So that is her ready to go. That is one Fabia VRS Turbo rebuilt. Now look, I hope you enjoyed that video. I suppose I just wanted to show you kind of building the turbos and kind of that sort of crack with it. You know, there's a bit of work to it, you know, so between you taking it apart, make sure you don't break a bolt, and then heating it up and getting them out and sandblasting it and building it and using the machine there. You know, but look, that's the building of the turbo done. We're going to get that turbo fitted in the next video, and I want to take apart the intercooler and make sure there's no more bits left in it. It's fucking very important we don't blow it again. And what's left to do on this now? Turbo, clean out the intercooler. That's it then. Look, she might even be ready for a test. The next video will be putting the turbo back in, clean the intercooler and all that, and I'd say the next video then that we do should be getting this thing to a test. Which would be unreal to get it tested and get it gone and get started on the board then. So look, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was interesting for you. I hope you learned something from it. And yeah, sure, look, if you could like, subscribe, that'd be great. And sure, look, we might see you on the next one. See you after.